welcome to Live in the Hive. And by goodness, it is hot in the Hive this evening. I've got to say, it's been an absolute warm weekend. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've stayed hydrated. Now is the time to cool right down. So grab a glass of something nice, because for the next half an hour, we've got some fantastic interviews, entertainment news, and lots of interesting things that are going on in the theatre world across Greater Manchester. Good evening if you're watching on the Isle of Manchester Facebook page, that iconic brand dedicated to community and culture in our fair city. And hello there if you're watching on our very own Live in the Hive Facebook page. Of course, we're here every Sunday night with all the latest, and tonight is no different. Of course, we've got some great guests on this evening to entertain you. We have got the creator of Lizard Boy, a brand new musical. Justin will be joining me to tell us loads more about that. It opened earlier on this week at Hope Mill Theatre. It's already wowing audiences, getting rave reviews. And Cultivate, we're going to have Hannah join us to talk all about Cultivate22. Now, this is on at the Oldham Coliseum, a great festival for anybody who wants to upskill in the theatre world. So if you know anybody who wants to do that, tell them to tune in tonight, because it's a great thing to find out about. And of course, every week we have to bring you this, because there's always something going on in Greater Manchester when it comes to theatre news. And we've got some lovely announcements for you a little bit later on in the show. But for now, I mentioned I got to catch up with the creator of a brand new musical called Lizard Boy. Now, he's come over from Seattle to the UK, and where does he choose to debut his musical but here in Manchester? It's absolutely fantastic, and if you don't believe me, take a look at the trailer right now.
Lizard boy run, lizard boy fly, lizard boy do what you can to get by.
I fought and fought hard, and I could have died, but I got scarred. A terrible ride. I've been waiting for change to drop out of the sky. I've been squeezing the meaning out of one simple word: try. Take me to bed. Tell me a story. 'Cause I'm an awesome man who looks like a lizard. Whoa, oh, 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 whoa, oh, whoa, oh, oh, whoa,
I love new musicals. They get me very excited, even more so when they're called Lizard Boy. This is brilliant, Justin. Tell me more about this musical.
Well, I was commissioned to write it almost 10 years ago. And really the only prompt was to write a story for myself that was true to who I am. But what they didn't know at the time was that I'm a huge comic book nerd who grew up with X-Men and Spider-Man and all of the inspiring like television and comic book superheroes that I learned how to be a human from. So what I ended up creating as a show for myself is I made myself into a superhero. And it's
Why not?
the coolest thing ever, because I've never gotten to do it before. Before that time, I didn't think I'd ever get to be a superhero. So this is awesome.
I honestly, this premise is great, because I do think it is so fun, and I love the elements of that comic book style that you put into this musical. So Lizard Boy, now this is all because of some strange accident that happens to him in his youth and kind of affects his skin, right?
Yeah, so there's this dragon attack that happened 20 years ago in Seattle. Didn't really, this is the fictional my play. But 20 years ago, a dragon attack happened, and that dragon ended up imbuing somehow in a really strange, no spoilers way, imbued Trevor, the main character, with green, scaly lizard skin. And what that ended up doing was it made him very reclusive and made him very insecure about who he is, because everyone kind of saw him as this like novelty monster. So we meet Trevor 20 years later, and he's alone in his apartment, and he's deciding for the first time maybe he should try and leave.
Everything happens when he leaves the apartment, right?
Yeah. It's so funny too, because I wrote this premise where he stays inside every day of the year except for one Halloween type holiday where everyone dresses up as lizards. And so that's his only time he can like venture out and no one notices him. And I thought at the time, like, how strange and different, someone staying inside all year long, and then somehow over the past couple of years, this plot point became a lot more relevant than I thought it would be.
Exactly. You know, COVID changed it all, didn't it, really? Now, what I love about the fact that it's not just a new musical, it's not just that it's fresh, it's that it's coming to the UK for its debut. And by goodness, have you chose the best venue for it, Hope Mill Theatre?
I'm so excited. They're so cool here. Everyone is so cool. Also, I love Manchester. I love this city so much. I'm calling my partner, like, you know, when we can with the time difference, because he's back in Seattle. And I'm just like, maybe let's consider, like, what if we lived here for a little bit?
Do it. Honestly, it's a great city. Had you ever been here before then, Justin?
I've never been to the UK before. So this is my first time here. It's going to be my first time at Edinburgh Fringe this next month. So I'm so excited to be here. It's so amazing.
Yeah, because you're debuting at Hope Mill Theatre in Ancoats, and then you're going to Edinburgh Fringe. You have got a full-on time. But it's a great thing, though, that you've got two casts for this, haven't you? You've got the US cast, which obviously you're involved in, and then you've got the UK cast. So it kind of switches things up, right?
It's awesome. Every time we've done this show, it's only been the US cast. This is our first time kind of welcoming new bandmates into the band. And they're all so incredibly talented and so funny and weird and sweet, which is exactly what you need to be for a show like this. Yeah, they're awesome. They're so awesome.
You know, that must have been really hard though, because like this is your baby. Like you say, you've been working on this for 10 years, and then, you know, including new people into this. It's quite hard, isn't it?
Well, to be honest, I mean, I think it would have been very hard for me maybe a few years ago, but I'm so in the place right now where I'm ready for this show to be like of the people and for the people. I want to see new faces and new voices take on these characters. I'm just kind of ready for it. So this is coming at just the perfect time where, I get that dream gets to come true, because I have people right next to me who've never sung my words before, and it's so cool.
Talking of the songs, you know, it's been a real hit on Spotify, the soundtrack. People have described it as a bit of a mix of indie, folk, and rock. Would you say that's like an accurate description?
Yeah, you know, I just kind of write the music I like to listen to, and I let other people describe it. That sounds right to me. That sounds right to me.
And the great thing for me is you played the cello in this, right? And I don't think there's that many musicals, correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously, you know, you have the orchestra that maybe play those instruments, but not the central characters. The only one I can think of is Fame. You know, remember the cellist, the girl cellist, Julie?
Yes, absolutely. Ooh, that's a good example. Yeah, it is uncommon. I never really thought about it, but really, like, you know, it wasn't until Spring Awakening, when Spring Awakening came out, and that was the first time. There's a song called Don't Do Sadness, and that was the first time I ever heard a cello drive a rock song. I didn't know cellos could drive rock songs before, and that kind of opened my mind. So yeah.
Well, I've got to say that is almost like kismet, because Spring Awakening has been at Hope Mill Theatre, and that was only like about a couple of years ago, and it was absolutely phenomenal in that venue.
Well, this is very much inspired, just in terms of the sound, because I actually in the States, I played cello on the Broadway National Tour of Spring Awakening.
Wow.
And so I fell in love with that music very deeply. I know that music so well. So there's a lot of that influence in
See, the thing is, you know, it's not even like you're a triple threat, Justin. I'm going to say, right? So you write, you sing, you perform, you know, you're producing this whole musical. What for you is your passion out of those? Because you can pretty much turn your hand to a lot of things.
Well, coming out of university, it really was like acting first, acting and singing and playing cello when I could. And then once Seattle Repertory Theater over in the States commissioned me to write this show, I really fell in love with writing. So truly, like Lizard Boy, I wrote for myself. And then almost every subsequent musical I've written since then has been for other people. And I just get to sit on the other side of the table and just sit and observe and like listen and learn. I really like writing a lot. Maybe that's why it's so easy for me to like hand the show to a UK cast, because I'm just like, I like being the writer in the room. I really like it.
Oh, do you know what? I really do feel we need to keep our eye on you, because I'm thinking great things are going to happen just because of your creativeness. You know, I know that you're a fan of Lin-Manuel Miranda, but I've got to say, you know, there are those beginnings and those kind of comparisons that I think with you, it's good to see something new injected into musicals. So it'll be great. I'll be like, he was on Live in the Hive way back when, you know, and there he is with his Tony Award.
Oh my God.
That would be amazing.
You said it. I'm going to knock on wood.
Yeah, definitely knock on wood. I'm going to take you back to your comic book days, because honestly, I'm a big fan of things like X-Men, and I'm going to say, oh my God, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles I grew up with all the time. Yeah, it was amazing. But what is your favorite comic book hero then? Could you put a name on it?
Yeah, I definitely believe it is Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. And I have to say that I liked her before WandaVision. I was a huge fan of her since I was in high school. I thought she was such a cool, like, misunderstood, complicated superhero. And her powers were so cool. And actually the first, like, real nice guitar that I bought, which was maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I named her Wanda. So my
guitar. That's brilliant. And you didn't follow the trend. You were there at the very, very
I was there.
And what superhero power would you choose?
You know what? The more that I think about, you know, the Scarlet Witch, and I love, like, I mean, in the movies, Elizabeth Olsen using her powers to fly around. I would love to fly. And when I think about it, I think I need to be able to teleport, because I'm wasting so much time just like walking places and getting on the transit, and like I need to just like be able to like just appear and disappear. There's so too much to do.
I mean, Dorothy did it many years ago in The Wizard of Oz with those ruby slippers, so maybe you need to find a pair of those, Justin.
Give me some ruby slippers. I will use them. Click, click, click.
Well, I've got to say, we are really looking forward to your show opening. I think it's fantastic that you've brought it here to Manchester first. We do have great audiences. I know they are going to love it. And please, will you come back when you've got your Tony?
Yes, I will come back before. I will come back anytime I can.
Oh, Justin is definitely one to watch in the theatre world. One absolute talented guy and a great musical. As I said, really wowing audiences already at Hope Mill Theatre. So try and get down there if you can. And you know what? We are very honoured to be playing out of tonight's show with one of the tracks from Lizard Boy, the musical. So definitely that will whet your appetite. Wait until the end of the show for that one. You don't want to miss it. Now, still to come on the show, we're going to be talking to Hannah Ellis-Ryan all about Cultivate22. But for now, it is time for this. Yes, every week we want to tell you what's going on with Greater Manchester Theatre News, because there's always something to announce. And this week, it is definitely no different at all. We've got got some great things that have been announced. Firstly, this one, The King and I, Rodgers and Hammerstein's absolute classic. It's returning to Manchester at the Palace Theatre next year, 2023. Tickets are going on sale, and really do try and grab them whilst you can. 6 Olivier Award nominations. It is a stunning production. I've got to say, I've seen The King and I a lot of times now. I still want to go back time and time again. The production scale is massive. The costumes are incredible, as are the songs. You definitely can't go wrong if you go and see this one. Very exciting times that is coming back to Manchester. And talking of Rodgers and Hammerstein's, well, the classic Cinderella, the revival, is finally getting to run at Hope Mill Theatre. You might remember that they announced that this was coming, and then COVID hit and they had to postpone it. It's definitely worth the wait. This comes from the 1st of November to the 11th of December. And this week they announced who their Cinderella is going to be. It's Grace Mount. Now, you might know her from Six. She's been in so many incredible musicals, Legally Blonde as well. And she gets to grace the stage in this fantastic production. It really is starting to excite me about what that production is going to be like, because Hope Mill put on the most amazing things. And talking of Hope Mill, actually, I am going to be involved in this cracking event. Yes, I can reveal that this event is going ahead on the 8th of September. And honestly, this is a great opportunity to get up close and personal to one of the most fantastic actresses we have here in the UK. I'm talking about Dame Maureen Lipman. Now, she's coming back to Hope Mill Theatre with her one-woman show that is called Rose. You might remember it was an absolute hit last time it came to Hope Mill. It's Martin Sherman's play. It's very poignant. It's very powerful. And so much so that Sky Arts ran a showing of it that you could see on your TVs, and it was just incredibly moving. Her performance in this is unbelievable. Now, the tickets are £39.50, which is an absolute steal, because that involves actually the show and then this amazing Q&A afterwards. So you will get to see Dame Maureen Lipman interviewed by myself. I'm very honoured to be doing this. It's going to be a great chat. She'll have so many stories, I imagine, to tell you all about. What a wonderful woman, and an incredible opportunity to see her, as I say, up close and personal. It's raising money as well for a brilliant project, Alaya Youth. So, you know, that's another reason really to support this night. If you are interested, all the details you can see are up on screen there, and I hope to see you on the 8th of September. Now, talking about the youth and talking about great initiatives that are happening, I spoke earlier this week to Hannah Ellis-Ryan about Cultivate22. I think this is a brilliant festival. It goes on every year at Oldham Coliseum, and it really is nurturing the talent of the future in the theatre world. It's all about upskilling your theatre skills, things like directing, behind the scenes. Maybe you're interested in comedy or, you know, performing for TV. All of those have master classes in this week festival, which is absolutely incredible to have in Oldham. So to find out more about it, I grabbed Hannah, and here is a bit of a lowdown.
Such an honour to be part of, honestly, as someone who has been a freelancer trying to make work for so many years, and then someone who also works in venues and makes work. Those connections and getting to meet people is so important. So one of the things that I think is the most exciting is we've got these like mixes that we're doing, because as we all know, if you're trying to make work, trying to find your next collaborator or meeting people is so important, and Cultivate facilitates so many different ways to just like meet fellow creatives, as well as like upskilling as well.
And also, you know, in an environment that feels friendly and safe, because it can be a bit daunting putting yourself out there, even if you are, you know, happy at being in front of the camera or perhaps on the stage. Now, Cultivate starts on the 18th of July. It's running for a week. There's lots of different things, because it's not just about the people who want to perform. It's about lots of different jobs within the theatre industry. There's like directing, designing, loads of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Honest, I know it sounds really lame to say there's something for everyone, but there really is something for everyone. I think anyone who's got any interest in learning about a new skill or kind of dabbling into the world of theatre a little bit more, or as you say, film acting as well. So really brilliant actor who was in Coronation Street for a million years, Rupert Hill, who's a great local actor, and he's a screen director as well. He makes films. He's doing this brilliant film acting course, which is open to anyone. You don't have to be a professional, but you'll come and be filmed, and you can watch yourself back and get feedback from professionals. So that's really brilliant. And then we're doing open auditions as well, which is for any actors who were like, hey, I've never met the Oldham Coliseum team before. I want to get a chance to show what I can do. It's a completely open process. You can just apply for that, whether you're a professional actor or not. And things like that, for us as well as a building, getting to just meet new talent, that is a huge part of what makes our job so rewarding. And we've met people genuinely through open auditions before who've ended up coming in and being seen for our main stage shows. So it's a great way to be seen.
It's a fantastic opportunity. I mean, I went to the website and saw that, and like, you can apply for your open audition now, so you can start that process off. They take place during that week. And what I also thought was great about what you do is you really champion actors from the Northwest. People from here, that chance that sometimes you feel like you have to go down south for, but we've got some great talent here in the north.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. It's so important. And for us in Oldham as well, it just feels like it would just make no sense to not be able to, at the very least, be of course, if anyone we meet is from Oldham, that's even better. That's an extra layer of joy. But bringing people who are just from too far away, it just doesn't make sense when there's so much talent here. But things like Cultivate is genuinely a way of going, I've not been able to meet this community yet, or I've not been able to make myself known to this theatre, and there's so many different ways to do it. Something I'm sure that if people haven't noticed as well, there's also multiple scratch nights in the week as well.
Tell us about that and what it means, because if somebody heard the word scratch, they're like, what's going on there?
Yeah, no, totally. There's a few different versions. So one is Girl Gang Manchester, who are an amazing collective of female strong artists, activists, illustrators, facilitators. They do everything. There's an amazing collective, and they're hosting a night called Girls Night Out, and I know you've got to come, please. But that is an open invitation for any female collaborators to apply and say, I'm a singer, or I'm a dancer, I'm a this. Please apply for that and come and apply for a slot to be part of that scratch night. That's very like female strong, female focused. But then one of our associate companies called Dare to Know Theatre, they're doing a night called Dare to Know Invites, and they've got open call outs for that as well, which will include like new writing, chances for directors and actors to get involved. So there's a huge variety there, huge variety. And then for anyone who knows about what happened with Alra, the drama school, Alra closing this year, we've also got a night that's like a showcase opportunity for students who were part of that Alra closure period, and they can come and do a monologue, a song, anything that floats their boat.
And you don't have to be dramatic in terms of the theatre thing. I mean, what I'm really interested in, it's something that puts the fear of God in me, if I'm honest. Stand-up comedy. And you've got stand-up for beginners. There's a bit of me that wants to go down to that, Hannah, and just see if I can be any good.
Maybe we can go together and keep each other strong. I mean, I've never dabbled in stand-up comedy, but I think, what a great, probably on like people's life bucket lists, and you go, one time in my life, I just want to do some stand-up. So yeah, maybe we'll go together, keep each other sane.
Have a couple of shanties beforehand, maybe get some Dutch courage going on. Now, how do people get to do that? Do you need a ticket to come down? What's the best thing that people need to do?
So it would be fantastic if people did use the Cultivate page on our website to register for anything they want to join, because it just helps us keep track of numbers. So please don't just show up if possible. Do register online. And the links, if you want to apply to be part of any of the events, like register for Girls Night Out or anything like that, all those links are on the Cultivate page on the website as well. So please do come and get involved. And I'll just give a little extra shout out again to those mixers, because those really are just for anybody who would like to meet more people. So if you're a producer, director, designer, writer, we've got these mixes specifically for people to come and meet fellow creatives, especially if you've got like a project that you're cooking up or you'd like to meet people to maybe collaborate with. The mixes are for you.
And that's brilliant because, like you say, if you are a producer or if you're somebody who's got a script, then you need your actors. The actors might be there. They want a part, and it's kind of like you're collaborating together, and it all happens at the Coliseum, which is fantastic. Now, I know that you said you'd have loved something like this. Are you still doing your acting, Hannah? Because you were fantastic in Coronation Street. You mentioned Rupert Hill there. Of course, you starred in Corrie as well. Not the best of roles, though. I mean, I don't think I liked the fact of what she was doing on the street.
I still get dirty looks when I walk the street, Michelle. I still get people coming up to me and going, "I remember what you did." No, it's
real. That's the thing. Soap operas to us are real. But yeah, are we going to see you in anything? Please say you haven't hung up your acting shoes yet.
Oh, no, definitely not. I'm actually going to play Nora in a Doll's House soon, which I'm very excited about. It's a Northeast tour. Yeah, so I'm going to. So if anyone wants to check that out, we'll do some promo for it at some point. But yes, I'm very much still acting when I can, and I'm very, very proud to be. That's a very iconic role. So I'm nervous, but I'm very excited.
100%. That is one of my favourite roles, A Doll's House, Nora. You will absolutely smash it. Tell me where that is again.
It's doing a Northeast tour, so it opens at the Queen's Hall in Hexham in October.
Right, I'm making a road trip to go down there and see you in that. That is going to be amazing. It's so lovely to get the chance to speak to you, and especially about something so wonderful that I champion Cultivate in 2022. And I hope it keeps on going year on year, because it is so important that we get the talent of the future. And it's happening at Oldham Coliseum.
Thank you so much. It's been so enjoyable to chat about it more, and yeah, just for your kind words. And we hopefully will have a big, busy week with loads of fresh people there.
Go get a rest, and we'll see you then. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Oh, what a great festival. Try and get yourself down there to Oldham Coliseum for Cultivate22. There really is something for everyone. And if you want to find out the full listings, all you need to do is head to the Oldham Coliseum website. And talking of websites, well, if you want to find out what is going on in Greater Manchester this week, maybe where to drink, where to eat, where to cool down, all you need to do is head to the I Love Manchester website, and they've got loads of stuff on their website to help you out with anything that you want to do, and also some great theatre news. And of course, if you want to find out what I've been doing each week with Live in the Hive, any exclusive content or behind the scenes gossip, give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter. We're at Live in the Hive 21, and we'll be back next week because we have got more guests and more interviews on Live in the Hive coming up. So don't forget, 8 o'clock Sunday night, we're here on I Love Manchester Facebook and Live in the Hive Facebook. But for now, I am gonna leave you with a fantastic song to play us out of the show. Of course, it's from Lizard Boy, the brand new musical, and it's called Things I Want.
Here we go.
What do you say? What do you want? You wanna let something happen today, but then not. You wanna stay inside this room where you've been. You wanna begin. What do you say? You wanna go? Then you should say okay, yes, and then send, but then no. If only all these other people could live one day in your skin. You might make one new friend, or this might be the beginning of the end. What do you have? A shirt and shoes. You have a plethora of talents to share if you so choose. This is the best apartment you've ever had, and you should be glad. What do you have? A roof and bed. You have enriching conversations with people in your head. Maybe out loud that sounds pathetic and sad. It isn't that bad. This is where you one thing. What if this is the start of something wrong? But then again, what if someone wants to know you? Is that hard to believe? If someone wants to know you, who you are underneath, well then you could let go of the skin and let go of the monster you've been. We all know that monsters don't get happy endings, so is this your chance to prove that you're not one of them? Every other night, you play your music all alone. Every other night, you fall asleep on your phone. Every other night, there's no one else to tell you you're a mess. Every other night, there's no one else to ask if you say yes. What do I want? I want a guy. I want another person to make me laugh and then cry. Someone who'll walk with me outside and will never hide. What do I want? I want a hand. I want spontaneous journeys so good they feel planned. I want to never be denied a terrible ride. Something real, no more pretend. And above all, a happy ending. No compromise, no risk, no bending. I just might find someone to love me, or even just a friend. Or this might be the beginning of the